by Gurpatwant Pannun, and CNN News 18 has accessed the NIA probe angles into Mr. Kejriwal's link with Khalistani elements or secessionist elements based on the allegations made by Gurpatwant Pannun, a wanted terrorist, a designated terrorist, a wanted man who's operating and plying his wares of anti-India activities from US soil. Now, what are these allegations and why they have credence despite this person being a designated terrorist by the Indian authorities? Because he's a K sympathizer and he's an active proponent of secession of Bharat and a breaking of Bharat. And he is the one who said that we, or K sympathizers and K sympathizer entities, various entities, actually supported Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party because of an assurance that was received from them. We financially supported them to help them come to power in a state like Punjab. And that's the reason why. And there he's actually turning around and saying, these are the allegations, this is the trail of the money. And that's why perhaps some level of credence. Did this actually happen? It needs to be investigated, although these are all unsubstantiated allegations. What are the allegations? Financial support in lieu of foreign operatives. Babbar Khalsa International, again designated terrorist outfits, Khalistani outfits, secessionist outfits. They are being helped to get back to India or come back into Bharat. So this was the kind of quid pro quo. You pay us, we will fund you, you facilitate their re-entry. Money allegedly was transferred through Hawala by the then Aam Aadmi Party MP's contact. That's the first charge. Now the second exclusive input that we have, and that's breaking this evening on the right stand. CNN News 18 has accessed the NIA probe angles based on allegations made by Pannun. Alleged West Coast funding has also come through via pro-Khalistan groups. An alleged meeting took place at Stockton Gurdwara Sahib. $2.5 to $4 million were allegedly transferred via Hawala. After this meeting at a Stockton Gurdwara, $2.5 to $4 million were transferred via Hawala, and this is the period is between 2014 and 2019, ladies and gentlemen. Alleged transfer with the help of a senior Punjab police official, somewhere in the rank of an ADGP, is what has been alleged. Also, a third input that we are breaking here on this alleged link of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party with Khalistan sympathizers and Khalistan idea backers, secessionist backers or entities. Your channel has accessed the NIA probe angle number 3 based on allegations made by Gurpatwant Pannun. Pro-Khalistan groups of Fremont Gurdwara, another Gurdwara, allegedly helped donate money. No information on how this alleged transfer of funds was made into Bharat, but the sum was significant. Sum was significant. And here's what NIA sources are further telling your channel. Investigations are onto the allegations made by Gurpatwant Pannun. The agencies are aware. They say proper investigation is required because there is a hint or smack of a money trail that's come from these K sympathizer entities into the Aam Aadmi Party and towards Mr. Kejriwal's benefit. It may not be $16 million, it may be more or it may be much lesser. But whatever money, if it has come as a quid pro quo, then should that not be investigated, and what does that then imply? What the agencies are saying is they need to explore if Mr. Kejriwal played deliberately or unknowingly into the hands of entities who had the support or who were linked with Gurpatwant Pannun. Breaking input 5. Top intelligence sources are telling CNN News 18 that the NIA will be asked to probe the Kejriwal K-link properly, and proper investigation is imperative into these serious allegations. We are given to understand here at CNN News 18 that very soon the NIA will be filing an FIR after receiving the reference from the Ministry of Home Affairs. So the MHA is apprised of the matter. So between March, when we first told you that there could be serious implications and serious investigations into the charges made against the Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, and this day, the 7th of May, Within a month and a half, ladies and gentlemen, this entire issue is coming towards an NIA probe, a deep dive into the finances and the links of Aam Aadmi Party leaders, including Mr. Kejriwal, and known Khalistani sympathizers. Now, why is there credence to the allegations made by a terrorist, a wanted terrorist? Is first question that comes to mind, because that person himself is a secessionist and a K sympathizer, and many people linked to Gurpatwant Pannun have been seen in photographs with Aam Aadmi Party leaders. So Aam Aadmi Party leaders have been photographed breaking bread, engaging, meeting, sharing courtesies and also pictures, and they themselves have posted these pictures with these kind of people who have allegedly sent money to Aam Aadmi Party for a quid pro quo, and they are also connected, linked with Gurpatwant Pannun. That's how this entire aspect of credibility of claims of a wanted terrorist is being addressed. Anand Ranganathan, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, analyst, political commentator with us. Sardar R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Puneet Sahni, activist, also with us. And Piyush Joshi, political analyst and questioning the actions of the LG and this entire intent, which the Aam Aadmi Party has rubbished, called the LG a BJP agent and said this is nothing but a political witch hunt. On a day where Mr. Kejriwal has not yet got relief from the top court in the liquor scam, comes these allegations, which are now likely to be probed via an FIR by the NIA itself. They are just waiting for a reference from the MHA, and that could happen very soon. And you're hearing it first here on CNN News 18. Puneet Sahni, let me start with you. The Fremont Gurdwara, the Stockton Gurdwara, these are entities that have been named by Gurpatwant Pannun. Is there a link between those who have been photographed engaging with AAP leaders and these leaders, these K sympathizers and Gurpatwant Pannun? Why should there be any credence to the claims made by a wanted terrorist?
Bharti, namaste Anand bhai. So what you said, I'll just give you 2 points. So when Kejriwal came in New York, so Fremont is on the west coast. When he came to the east coast, he visited this Richmond Hill Gurdwara. And the thing is, Richmond Hill Gurdwara, I tell you, recently this GBS Sidhu, he wrote this book, Khalistani Conspiracy. And he says he was in charge of Mrs. Gandhi's security. And in 1982, the Khalistanis tried to assassinate her. And I know that person who tried. His name is Fauja Singh Bains. And a few months later, he, shot at the Indian consulate in Toronto, and he went to prison for 14 years. But anyways, this place where he went, it's like going to Haqqaniya Madrasa. He should have never gone there, Kejriwal. And this is a fact. This is not an allegation. He came to a Gurdwara, like I tell you, Anand bhai, Sikhs are a fraction of 1%. And they are distributed all over America. This one Gurdwara, Richmond Hill Gurdwara, if you go through the archives of New York Times, and I have published it so many times, it has come so many times for violence against Sikhs. And so many times they have not been able to find out why there was fire, why somebody died. But the time that the police have been able to find out, yes, this person did it, this one Gurdwara is, I think 4 or 5 times I've given the archives. It has made the New York Times. Just imagine, New York Times is so important, it has to cover the entire nation. And Sikhs are a total fraction of 1% in entire America. And Kejriwal visited this. And I tell you the second thing. There is a guy, his name is Baltej Pannu. Baltej Pannu is, I think he's a Canadian citizen. He's like a OCI holder. He's not an Indian. He right now, he is basically the media advisor and in a way guiding Bhagwant Mann in Punjab. And if you do like Baltej Pannu, he's a known Khalistani. And the thing is, there was a YouTube journalist of Punjab, his name was Rajinder Thakkar. When he brought out all these facts that how come a Khalistani and he's not even a citizen, how come he's in like Bhagwant Mann, almost like a cabinet position, he's guiding him. That Bhagwant Mann said the police, and I think a couple of weeks ago, he was, thrown into the prison by Bhagwant Mann government. And the last point, Anandji, I would say, this area where Kejriwal came and there are pictures of him where he visited. It's such a den of Khalistanis that like last week when the Jathedar of Akal Takht, which would be like the equivalent of the Sikh Pope, when he came here and he wanted to participate in, like a Sikh Day parade here, the Punjabi newspaper reported it, and I also put it on tweet. They didn't let him. So this area that is a den of Khalistanis, that decent people refrain from going there. You can actually, even on Twitter, if you do Richmond Hill Gurdwara, you can find videos where they are indoctrinating people, little children, like they do in madrasas. So this is what the hell was Kejriwal doing here?
This Richmond Hill aspect has also been claimed, and it's mentioned in the LG's letter. It's mentioned in the concern letter that has been written by Mr. Arshu, and also where it quotes Munish Raizada, who has put these pictures and said that the Richmond Hill Gurdwara meeting did happen. There is also this aspect of UK and Preet Gill, known Khalistan sympathizer who's also engaged with Sikhs For Justice, with whom Mr. Raghav Chadda's picture has been found on social media, especially when Mr. Chadda has gone over to the UK for an eye surgery. So these are all aspects that these names of these leaders have come through, and there are photo ops of Aam Aadmi Party leaders with all of them. The Vidhan Sabha Speaker of Punjab Assembly has been seen breaking bread with a K sympathizer. Now, does that mean that they have met these people? And does that equally imply that they have taken money from them? That is subject to investigation. But these entities, these people who have been seen with AAP leaders in the West Coast, in the East Coast, and in Canada and in the UK, they have openly endorsed, backed, and had affiliation with Gurpatwant Pannun. Piyush Joshi, your response before I bring in Sardar R.P. Singh and Dr. Ranganathan. Yes, you put your hand up. Yes, please.
You know, after seeing your introductory remarks, I am just reminded of one शेर, by Bashir Badr साहब. बड़े शौक से मेरा घर जला, कोई आंच न तुझ पे आएगी, ये जुबान किसी ने खरीद ली, ये कलम किसी की गुलाम है. You already made up your mind, that what narrative you are going to put. Be careful when you put this kind of narrative. What narrative are you putting? You are saying that the convener of a national party, a party which is running government in 2 states, with duly elected governments they are running, are hand in glove with the terrorist organization. Same thing was said before the Punjab elections were done. A letter somehow emerges. Many of the BJP leaders and then Congress leaders also tweeted that particular letter. This organization was same, Sikhs For Justice, and the letter was claiming that they have asked the people of Punjab to support the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, what happened to that letter? That letter was again proven to be fake. Now, as far as pictures are being concerned, that someone is photographed with someone. Deep Sidhu, who was that man? Deep Sidhu. He was he or wasn't he photographed with the Prime Minister of the country? Do you remember that kind of thing? What kind of narrative are you bringing? You cannot defeat Aam Aadmi Party in the elections in Delhi. You cannot defeat Aam Aadmi Party in elections in Punjab. So you will go to all lengths. The profanity with the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Lieutenant Government is working. It is just unparalleled in the history of India. You cannot just go on and say that this chief minister, the convener of a national party, is hand in glove with the terrorist organization without having substantial proof. And on whose statements are you basing the investigation? A person who's anti-India, a person who's a separatist, a person who's a Khalistani supporter, just because he comes up and puts on a video, tomorrow let's say Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist or Hafiz Saeed puts on a video and says that I have funded the Bharatiya Janata Party and I am demanding support for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Would you start investigating Bharatiya Janata Party and Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Look, please, come on, we can be in opposition, we can have difference of ideas, but to stoop to this particular level is just amazing, it's just disturbing, and it is unparalleled, and it is setting new examples, it is setting new laws, like the Prime Minister's speech day by day is doing. So all I can say, investigate all you want. Whatever you want to investigate. At the end of the day, you are going to find nothing. But you are destroying the fabric of the country. You are destroying the fabric of the democracy. You are trying to kill the opposition, and you are just trying to bury the opposition deep down. So that is my take. And I've just given you 3 points. Investigate Deep Sidhu being photographed with the Prime Minister of the country. Will you investigate? Does the NIA has enough courage to investigate that how Deep Sidhu was photographed with the Prime Minister, and then he goes on and on 26th of January disgrace the tricolor?
Okay.
Did you ever think of investigating this?
Sardar R.P. Singh, respond.
Anand, the point is not merely statement of a man. What follows after the statement, that is a bigger issue. Statement is one part. You just showed the picture of Kultar Singh Sandwan. The picture is on the screen now. Kultar Singh Sandwan with Harjeet Singh Bawa, a known stabbed Khalistani. and Mr. Kultar Singh Sanwan knows who he is. And that meeting, that lunch was organized by the people of the sympathizers of the Aam Aadmi Party in Canada. When I went to Pakistan some year and a half back, I ensured that I should not meet anyone there who can be close to anyone who are associated with the Khalistani elements. And they would love to come and do that and take a picture and then use that picture. But here, man is sharing lunch with the person. He is being honored by Harjit Singh, and he's enjoying that honor. That one part. Now, second picture which we have shown today is of Raghav Chatterjee. He has gone for a eye treatment. We pray for his early recovery. I've been told that he has a problem with his eye surgery also. But during that whole of the stay in UK, please go through his social media handle. There's only one picture he has posted, and that picture is with Preet Kaur Gill. Now, please go through the social media handle of Preet Kaur Gill also. He has been openly propagating and supporting Khalistan. She is known for funding Khalistanis. He is known for that. And now, if you stand with that lady and have a picture and then you post that picture also. So this clearly shows that it's a pay of time. You took money or you took advantages, whatever. I mean, this need to be investigated. But once the investigation, I will come to know more about it. But you took advantages and then you are trying to pay them back by taking pictures and putting them on social media, sending a message to element in Punjab and across the world that we are with you. We stand by the Khalistani idea. That's the issue. Issue is not merely Sikhs For Justice. I can understand that man is a Khalistani and he would have seeked certain promises. He would have funded Kejriwal, and Kejriwal would have made those promises also. And he would not have fulfilled those promises. Let me put it very clearly also. Gurpatwant Singh Bhullar is suffering from mental disease, from some disease from 12 years, and he's in hospital from last 12 years. I mean, that's a separate point. But the major concern is that are you continuing with...
See, none of... Sir, you have to also say that Mr. Bhullar, the Devinder Pal Singh Bhullar's family has not apologized for the 93 blasts. One. Secondly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting or photo with Deep Sidhu has been quoted by Piyush Joshi. Did the Prime Minister take a photo with Deep Sidhu knowing fully well that he was a Khalistan backer, or after he created the ruckus in Delhi, or was this picture of before?
He's standing next to the Prime Minister.
Was this... answer the question that is important. The important question is, did the Prime Minister click this picture before Deep Sidhu turned out or showed his true colours, or after that? One. Secondly, I'll tell you the reason why. Because, sir, the Aam Aadmi Party leaders have gone to the US, they have gone to Richmond Hill Gurdwara, they have gone to Stockton Gurdwara, they have gone to Fremont Gurdwara, and they have gone and met Preet Kaur Gill. They have met knowing fully well who they are and what their antecedents are and what the background of that area is. So when you do something with full cognizance of your action, and the other aspect is when somebody stands next to you and you take a picture and you don't even know who that person is, or you do not know the true antecedents of that person, and that comes to be revealed later on. There are two different aspects. So you can continue to show the PM's picture, but answer this question to yourself before you make an argument. That's what, and it's quite rich coming from the Aam Aadmi Party that you are saying that you cannot blame anybody based on mere allegation. The entire facade of Delhi around Sheila Dikshit and beyond that was based on pure allegations. And today the Aam Aadmi Party is allying with the same Congress party for the Delhi elections, Lok Sabha elections, with the same Congress party. So quite rich coming from you when you try and teach propriety to others and probity to others, sir. Sir, you have the right to make your point. I have the right to make my observation.
The gravity of the allegations
no, please.
Without substantial proof.
Sir, the fact is, sir, the same Aam Aadmi Party blamed the Congress party for the 1984 massacre of Sikhs, and today you are hand in glove with them in the same very Delhi. So quite rich when you talk about probity and walking the talk. So it's quite rich coming from an AAP sympathizer. But Dr. Ranganathan, 1 minute, sir. Dr. Ranganathan, 2 points raised. The Deep Sidhu part. Second, why should I believe a terrorist? Why should the NIA probe the claims of a terrorist against the sitting Chief Minister?
Good evening. my fellow panelists. I've been listening very patiently to the debate, and I hope I will not interrupted. There are two issues here, and I think both need delving into. Number one, yes, let us agree with the AAP spokesperson or the sympathizer that the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi is a BJP stooge. Modi is shameless. Modi is corrupt. Modi is alleging something. It's wrong. He's biased. He wants to put the opposition in jail. Let's accept that. Do you know something? More than any other party, it is the opposition party Congress that has accused the Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal of being soft on terror and being in cahoots with the Khalistanis. From captain to Channi, the Congress has gone hammer and tongs at Kejriwal on this issue. The captain on June 30th, 2016 claimed AAP got funding from WSO Canadian Khalistanis. On June 16, 2018, accused AAP leaders of supporting referendum 2020 initiated by the Khalistanis. And on February 20th, 2022, even directly claimed a Kejriwal Pannun SFJ nexus. But now that the Congress and AAP are in alliance, the Congress has shamelessly gone on quiet. Besides, why would you blindly trust a man who none other than the High Court has claimed conspired to use and conceal the proceeds of crime? Or was it Modi who claimed this? Remember how it took a month to nab Amritpal Singh, Anand? What is happening in Punjab is scary. Damn all this politics. Let's talk about national security. Anand, I am a child of the 80s. And I remember how we thought then that we had lost Punjab forever until KPS Gill came along. Sadly, we don't have any KPS Gills anymore. There is no doubt that Punjab government is proving itself to be wholly inept at handling the law and order in the border state. If it isn't the daily drone attacks, the drug mafia murders, the blasphemy killings, it is police stations being run over by Khalistani separatists and anarchists and not able to nab a Khalistani for a month. And when you do nab him, he's inside a Gurdwara. The situation is exacerbated by lackadaisical coordination between state and central forces, made even worse because of the nasty political fights between Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. To top it all, the ISI, of course it would, is working tirelessly to create a compact between the Kashmiri and the Sikh diaspora. Anand, let there be no doubt. There are forces, both internal and external, that want to foment trouble in Punjab, and AAP is sitting back at best and supporting them at worst. And the external forces have media as their weapon. Do you recall or have you forgotten the fact about the Guardian dollops of lies peddled in that recent Guardian piece that claimed that Khalistani terrorist Pannun had been killed while the guy is still alive? But this is about something else.
Yes, coming to you.
Please give me 10 seconds. This is about hypocrisy. The fact that you have people like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his father who refused to hand over AI-182 bombers, including the dreaded tennis Parmar. And the reason was that India is not differential enough to the Queen. Fast forward to 2023 and Justin Trudeau, just like his father did 3 decades ago, is kowtowing to Khalistani terrorists just to placate his increasingly influential vote bank. The fact of the matter is, the moment we go out and actively try and preempt these evil terrorists, all hell breaks loose. Now, has AAP got donations from abroad? Yes. From Canada and the UK? Yes. So why should it not be investigated? Should it be investigated? Yes. But enough of my answering yes and no. 10 seconds. I want to ask the AAP sympathizer Piyush Ji Saab one question. Yes and no question. Has Kejriwal ever called Bhinderwale a terrorist? Answer yes or no.
Piyush Joshi.
You'll talk to Kejriwal once, and I am sure he will say that Bhindranwale was a terrorist for the country. So do not worry about it. Okay. So no, Anand, I did not interrupt you. You had a long. Arey Baba, you had a long monologue. Anand, I did not interrupt you. I was patiently raising hand. Now can you please let me respond? All I am trying to say here, when you talk about Amritpal Singh, where is Amritpal Singh right now? Is he in the jail of Punjab or is he in the jail of Assam? So that speaks volumes about the Home Ministry and the Punjab government's coordination when it comes to national security. How many protests did take place in the state of Punjab after the arrest of Amritpal Singh? How many people gathered to support Amritpal Singh? Bhagwant Mann handled the Amritpal issue very, very tactfully and very, very successfully. Amritpal Singh and the way it was handled without any support in favor of Amritpal. It was not only important to arrest Amritpal, it was important to destroy the idea of Amritpal as a Sikh guru, and that's what he did. that he was trying to brand himself as you know, a leader of Sikhs, and that is what Bhagwant Mann destroyed there. What are you talking about when it comes to the interest of the nation, when it comes to the interest of Bharat and
please
India?
don't get so
Aam Aadmi
agitated.
Party
I
is a
have
very,
huge
very-
respect for you.
My simple question is,
huge
let
respect
us
for you.
let us say, let us one minute,
Just
sir.
one counter to Anandji. Anandji said that whether Aam Aadmi Party
You
receives
see,
funds
you
from
know
the
me.
United States of America and Canada, under the Indian law, it is illegal to get international funds, and it is not possible for
Okay.
an international entity
Here
to
is
donate
my-
to any political party.
Here is
let
a
it be Aam
small
Aadmi Party or
flashback.
BJP. So
Here
much
is a
for lying.
flashback, and I'm subject to correction here. 2015, 2016, if my memory serves me right, the Aam Aadmi Party had claimed that it will put all its receipt of funds when it was trying to crowd fund ahead of the Punjab elections, that we will put all the list of funds and where we are getting the money online. We will declare it in public.
We did. We
One minute.
did.
Why did you stop it,
We
sir?
did.
The answer to the
Hey,
question.
भाई
The
साहब, आप
answer.
income tax के notice
Sir,
भेजना शुरू कर दोगे
the
हमारे
answer,
donors को,
the
तो क्या
answer,
करेंगे?
sir, the answer to that, not just the notice, the source of funds, there were entries that came, A, that looked dubious, B, the monies were coming from abroad, especially from the US and from Canada, and the allegation of Khalistani money coming into this or K money coming to this started then in 2015. It is not now, it is then, and the entries and this receipt of money is from a period of 2014 to 2022, not as of May 2024. That's also there. So, yeah, now Anand Ranganathan is also showing something. Now, whoever is showing videos, whoever is making claims, it's their responsibility. Final. Everybody wants to say
Aam Aadmi
something.
Party sets new fundraising record for Canada. Dr. Saab, you've been proven woefully wrong. Please apologize on national television. I have huge
No,
respect
why
for you.
should I
Okay.
apologize? What
For
kind of an
this is again article. This is again story. This is all
is
there on
illegal.
record, sir. It's all on
Just
record,
a
and that's
story.
why within the next, just like the liquor policy was changed or it was reversed within 24 hours of the CBI announcing a probe.
Are we
Within
debating
20 hour
everything under
notices, the number stopped. The number stopped. The entire declaration
Are we debating everything
front
under the
stopped.
sun?
Okay, Puneet Sahni and RP Singh, quickly, yes.
What is the funding? You know, it's just like, so the bravest son maybe of Bharat Mata is Bitta, and we were talking about Bullard. So you know this Bullard, his case is being fighted by Mukul Rohtagi, who charges 25 lakhs a sitting, and you know they are, and this Bitta, who has suffered so many bombs. Do you know last time he went, he put 8 lakh of his own personal money to go to the court. This is the price we have, and I tell you, there is another Sikh Research Institute, which is like, all they are doing it. They publish about Manoj Chahal, like he was a great, like Puneet Sahni has to correct them on his own time that Manoj Chahal, here is a report, he used to rape Sikh women, abduct Sikh girls from their house. And when he died, his completely Sikh village celebrated Diwali. So I am just saying, okay, this politics is fine, but this is the cost that you have to suffer and pay. If you are a Sikh, you fight, because we are such a callous country. In this country, nobody is supporting Bitta. Bitta is paying his own money in court despite suffering so many bomb blasts on his body. And Mukul Rohtagi is fighting this case of bombers, and all the family of the bombers are in Canada right now.
That's again a travesty. Sardar RP Singh, final word, have to wind up.
Well, my only question
Anandji, just one comment.
After RP Singh, yeah.
Well, I have only one question from Mr. Piyush Joshi. Has Mr. Kejriwal or any of his core committee member ever condemned the Sikh For Justice or Pannu, or said that we had nothing to do with the statement made by Pannu? Has they distanced themselves from Pannu? No. Till date, there is not a single statement by Kejriwal.
So many times.
I never intervened. I mean, you can have free run after me. So this is on record, and I again state that Mr. Dev said Bhindranwala. I mean, he has not condemned Bhindranwala ever, but I state that he has not even condemned Sikh For Justice Pannu also. But that point aside, what about the pictures of Mr. Raghav Chadha with Preet Kaur Gill? Only picture he has posted. during his visit in UK.
See, but the question, sir, there is, Piyush Joshi, yeah, please respond. I'm just saying, when you know somebody is a case sympathizer, yet you meet that person, you break bread with that person in the case of the Vidhan Sabha speaker, and you engage in the gut of case sympathizers, knowing fully well where you're going, and there's a concern. Yeah,
Anandji, when we talk about Bhindranwala, you know, there's BJP spokesperson by the name of Manjinder Jeet Singh Sirsa. Sirsa Sahab kya bolte hain? Sirsa Sahab always, you know, say, and he has been very vocal about it, that Bhindranwala is his hero. That is not me speaking, that is the BJP's official spokesperson speaking. You know, that Bhindranwala is my hero. So when you question Kejriwal, and I am sure Singh Sahab must be having his lunch and dinner with Sirsa Sahab once in a while. So what are we talking about?
No. Between Manjinder Singh Sirsa and RP Singh, if it should be a problem, then Arvind Kejriwal and breaking bread with at Richmond Hill and at Fremont should be a far bigger problem. Then Raghav Chadha meeting Preet Kaur Gill will be a far greater problem, because she's declared herself to be a Khalistani sympathizer who believes that there should be land that should be broken away from Bharat. It's her declared statement, sir. It's a declared statement as a Labour leader. The other, then sir, then in that case, sir, the Vidhan Sabha speaker, being a Sikh himself, has gone ahead and broken bread with somebody who's a case sympathizer, who believes that Bharat should be broken. Forget whether Bhindranwale was a terrorist or not, but who believes this is a state, and the AAP leaders have gone ahead and posted pictures of them. So what should that imply? I'll park it there. We got to take a break. We're running over on this debate. We got more ground to cover. Dr. Ranganathan stays on with us, but Puneet Sani, RP Singh and Piyush Joshi, thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back here on the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio, we hope to be able to have a quick chat with the former Special Public Prosecutor Ujjwal Nikam and get him to answer the allegation made against him by SM Mushrif and also Vijay Wadattiwar. Stay with us.
Speak on the president debate. So I had said this, and I can corroborate why I said that. Hate speeches, yes, it did happen before 2014, but the amount of hate speeches against Muslims have increased not 100 times more. It was the Supreme Court who had to intervene and get cases booked when the Dharam Sansas were held. Mob lynching has increased. Hijab has been made a national security issue. Azan has been made a national security issue. What I eat is being made a very controversial thing. Laws have been passed on religious conversion. Laws have been passed against interreligious marriages. You know, and then these are the things which started in 1930s of the then Germany. Then the Kristallnacht movement happened. Movies are being made. The same thing happened during in 30s in Germany. What kind of movies are being made? All with all nonsense and all, you know, complete lies. Okay, you say it's not a fact. So we are leading towards it. And when the Prime Minister stands up, he does not speak for the 133 crore people. He speaks about his ideology. How can the Prime Minister call us this Guspeti? How can the Prime Minister demean the Muslim women saying they give birth to more children? Huh? Then what about, why are you opening all these centers of fertility treatment? Close them down. Can the Prime Minister understand what a woman, you know, there are so many fertility centers throughout India, in Hyderabad also. You close them down. Why are you demeaning? You criticize any other political party you want. It's part of your electioneering. But to demean 14% population, what is the message is sending?
Sir, can I ask you a counter question? When we talk about polarization, it's never one-sided. You also go to a beef shop and say, "Kaatte raho." In a country like India, when you do that, isn't that seen as polarization?
No. Am I breaking all?
Back on, and we are joined by Ujjwal Nikam, who's there amidst his hectic campaigning schedule, has taken time off to just answer 2 or 3 questions. Ujjwal Nikam ji, namaste, Jai Hind. First up, the allegation against you made by the LOP in Maharashtra, Vijay Wadattiwar.
I have rather pity on these people. I must condemn the statement made by the leader of opposition of Congress, Mr. Vattivar, and for the simple reason that not only that he had tried to malign my image, but in fact he had insulted the departed soul 166 as well as the police officers who were killed in the said terror attack of 26th November. Mr. Vattivar, on the next day he changed his version and he said that Mr. Nikam is a traitor and he has suppressed many things and he had taken that fact from the book written one of the ex-police officer who had in any way no concern with the investigation of the case.
Is this all because you've joined the BJP, or is this a larger attempt at a larger narrative? Absolve Pak, blame it on quote-unquote saffron terror, RSS-backed terror.
See, I'm rather surprised on what basis Mr. Musharraf has made such allegation. In fact, during that regime, the Congress was ruling in the state as well as in the central government. Not only that, he unnecessarily helped the Pakistan by making false and vexatious allegations and tried to malign the image of not only me, but also a false and vexatious story that has been made by him in his book.
But is this going to have an impact on the elections this time around? Does this resonate on ground?
Absolutely, it won't affect. On the contrary, the Congress party has said it's not our stand, it's a stand of Mr. Vattivar himself. So Congress has disowned their opposition leader who has made irresponsible and reckless statement. So it won't affect the political campaign at all. On the contrary, the whole country is condemning the Congress party. In fact, the Congress party should have expelled the leader of opposition from the party, because not only he has maligned the image of our country, not only that he had insulted the martyrs police officer, but in fact he has aided and assisted Pakistan, who now is going to who will make the statement that Karkare didn't die in the terror attack of 26 November. So I am really worried why Mr. Vattivar has made such a false statement. Mr. Vattivar has said that Mr. Nikam is a traitor. He said that he should be put behind a bar. On what basis? Anyhow, I am less worried. On the contrary, he has made our campaign very easy, because the whole country knows what had happened on the night of 26 November, and the whole country is condemning the statement of Mr. Vattivar and the Musharraf.
Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, as you make the transition from special public prosecutor to a people's representative, we wish you all the very, very best in your endeavors. Thank you very, very much for speaking with us. We're going to take a very, very short break here on the CNN News 18 and Federal Plank Primetime Studio. When we come back, this caste community and trying to make it and link it with critical race theory. A very radical rationale is that's being attempted in Bharat. Stay with us. Stay with us. We talk about it when we come back.
Your law. I wanted to expose BJP, which have been successful. You have taken 10 crores electoral bond from a company called Alina, which happens to have a factory in Telangana. You have no objection in taking 10 crores, but your objection to a Muslim Qureshi, whose profession has been that, who sits for 17 hours in a day and makes 500 rupees, a Kathik who opens a shop, you are against them. You want to close those shops. Day in, day out, you speak about them. So you are more interested in electoral bonds from a company, but you're not interested in the economic little bit progress, prosperity of a poor man who runs a shop with 2 or 3 people.
But what about the fact that your critics say that you also do identity politics primarily,
what?
and your politics is only Muslim-centric?
No, how? is it wrong to talk about a community which is lacking behind on all the parameters of human development indicators? It is. Please tell these people to read the Kundu Committee report, which was given to this government in 2014 October. Please read the NSSO data. What does that say? Please read the National Family Health Survey.
So, are you saying that the Muslim reservation issue that has been kicked off by the BJP this time around, are you saying that Muslim reservations are fair and needed? Because the BJP has made it a poll plank to say that that reservation shouldn't come for all Muslims, only for backward Muslims, and it shouldn't come out of others' quota.
Well, you see, number one point is that it is completely lie that someone else.
Back on, ladies and gentlemen, and let's listen into what Rahul Gandhi has said with respect to reservation. And then we'll tell you why it is important, because he also made a comment with respect to examinations. Two different comments, but they have a certain thought continuum which points at a very radical rationale. Listen in.
उनके अलग-अलग नेता कहते हैं कि हम रिजर्वेशन छीन लेंगे, और मैं आपको स्टेज से कहना चाहता हूं, रिजर्वेशन को छीनने की बात छोड़िए, हम रिजर्वेशन को 50% से आगे बढ़ाने वाले हैं। अमेरिका में जैसे हमारी आईआईटीज होती हैं, उनका जो टॉप एग्जाम होता है उसको एसएटी कहते हैं, और जब एसएटी पहले लागू हुआ तो एक अजीब सी चीज आई कि जो अमेरिका में गोरे थे वो सब टॉप कर रहे थे, और जो काले चमड़ी वाले थे वो इतना अच्छा नहीं कर रहे थे। फिर एक आदमी ने क्या किया, एक प्रोफेसर ने, उसने कहा एक चीज चेक करता हूँ, जो पेपर लिखे गए थे ना, उन्होंने वो पेपर कालों से लिखवा दिया। सिर्फ उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसे करते हैं, पेपर कालों से लिखवा देते हैं और फिर वो एग्जाम दे देते हैं। पता है क्या हुआ? गोरे सब फेल हो गए। अब अगर आप मुझे कह रहे हो कि आईआईटी का जो एग्जाम लिख रहे हैं वो सारे के सारे अपर कास्ट के हैं और दलित फेल हो रहे हैं, तो फिर एक काम करो, दलितों से लिखवा के दिखाओ।
Vijay Vishwanathan, author, Snakes in the Ganga, co-author with Rajiv Malhotra there, joins us live. We have Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Neeti Jain and Kamru Chaudhary. Namaste, Jai Hind to everybody. Thank you very much. Vijay Ji, please don't say I told you so or we wrote it so, but please explain this entire continuum and rationale.
Thank you for having me, Anand. It's a pleasure to be here. This whole story starts in 2009, and believe it or not, the French Ministry of External Affairs funds a project to this French think tank called CSH. It's a humanities, sciences and social sciences think tank in Delhi. So they fund this CSH in Delhi, and CSH partners with the Delhi School of Economics to find out essentially about the engineering, higher education and engineering education in India. They want to study the engineering education in India because, and from a social sciences standpoint, so the history and social sciences of engineering education. So the French are not interested in technology transfer or doing joint projects with their STEM institutions. Instead, they want social studies research projects in India with the Delhi School of Economics to see how engineering education is being conducted in India. And that leads to this whole thing 15 years later with Rahul Gandhi actually blabbering. I mean, they essentially want to dismantle the IITs. And what is meant by dismantling is essentially bringing in diversity, equity, inclusion into so these commissars who will be sitting in these IITs, which has already started. And then doing away with the JEE altogether, like how they are doing in America. It's not to change the exam by putting other people, Dalits, to make the, to make them give the exam, but it's not that. It's more to do away with the JEE, bring in DEI, commissars, and then, and even further, and then of course, the faculty also will have reservations, and reservations haven't helped, but they want something called a substantive equality as opposed to a formal equality. So the substantive equality is something that even our Supreme Court Justice talks about, which essentially means equality of outcome, which is critical race theory applied onto the Indian
But critical race theory was the oppressor and the oppressed. So there was a white oppression of the blacks. So wasn't that the basis? So here what? The upper caste is the oppressor and the lower, the backward caste or the Dalits are the... So caste, how can caste become the metric? There is no race involved here at all. And there is no hardened proof to say that a system is against merit. Where is merit in all of this? No, nowhere there. Vijayji, are you there? Where is merit in all of this? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
You're back, yeah.
You broke up a little. But anyway, the idea is that when the French came to India to have this partnership with the Delhi School of Economics, they basically wanted to bring in Pierre Bourdieu is a Marxist, and he had said that culture is a form of capital. And so they trained the Delhi School of Economics people to say that how caste is now like culture and caste is a form of capital. And then you have Harvard coming in and saying that, you know, indeed, this caste is a form of capital, and Ajanta Subramaniam from Harvard makes a case study out of the IITs saying that it becomes caste is a fungible capital that the upper caste use to become casteless. So they shed their caste. And then they convert it to merit and carry this merit like how you would carry rupees to dollars, you know, the fungible asset, and then take it overseas and then become successful. And that's how, and then it goes on into equality labs and other people being ashamed of all the IITians going through caste sensitivity training and they're ashamed for being whatever caste they are in America and in the corporate world. So this is going on, and meanwhile Ashoka has now carried the baton. And they have meritocracy workshops in China, and with the Harvard, Ashoka University, and a university in China, where the Chinese are also proud of their meritocratic systems, whereas all the Indian scholars go there and apologize and say, oh, we've been oppressors, and what we should do to rectify and reparation. So essentially, this is the whole thing of, I'm assuming, Congress's way of reparations. I mean, whether it is inheritance tax or doing a survey of money, some kind of capital physical or something intangible, they essentially want redistribution and achieve substantive equality.
So somehow, I hope for the viewers, it's all sinking in, how it's part of a larger great game and how it's going to literally diminish Bharat's stature, or especially the IITs and the merit that's actually fueling the growth in the West and the intelligent capital there and the innovation there. Yes, you have written about it, I'm aware, and they've especially talked about the IITs. But Dr. Ranganathan, this is what it is. Till date, we've never questioned which engineers are powering which systems and which AI and which this one at the back end, and it's purely been on merit. People have got jobs on merit, but suddenly the caste issue comes in, and then the caste equation gets twisted and community gets into caste. So one whole community then gets bunched as a particular caste and gets the reservations there. So how phenomenal this game is.
You know, Anand, if Kafka were alive, he would have rewritten his magical first sentence of Metamorphosis as one fine morning, Pappu woke up and thought he was Pol Pot. This is textbook definition of scorched earth policy that communists and all leftist thinkers espouse for centuries, not just for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because they are complete no-hopers, losers, dregs of the society, failures in life. They hate everyone who is successful and meritorious. The IIT JEE system is the pride of the world. It is the second most difficult exam in the world. I'm not just saying it because it's difficult. I'm just saying, look at the output of the IITs. And of course, I do credit Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru for initiating the process of IITs. Yes, he deserves some credit for it, of course. But look at what Rahul is trying to do out here. Please tell me, for heaven's sake, is maths to be written or asked differently by a Dalit than by a non-Dalit? Is this what we have come down to? That a maths question paper would be set differently from a person who is not a Dalit? And for your information, for everybody else's information, the question papers that are set by a committee of IITians who include, or people from IIT who include a lot of Dalits as well. So this guy, I don't know where he's getting his information from, but secondly, I need to, you have to be from the same planet as Rahul Gandhi to make sense of him. And it is not Earth, it might be Jupiter. Now when he says that the BJP is going to change the constitution, I want to ask him, in his manifesto, in all his speeches, is that we will overrun or overturn the Supreme Court diktat on the percentage of reservation 50%. We will change the constitution. He himself want to change the constitution and is accusing BJP of changing it. Arey, kahan se aate hain ye log? Bhai, kaun hai ye log?
These are people who believe that the Samanya person on ground is so dumb and bereft of any intelligence or sanity that all of this will fly and this is what will work. But the fact is that the fact that people who aim to be Prime Minister of this country sometime in the future or whenever the voter elects them to be, have these intentions with their country. These are the promises they are making to the country. And in all of this, there is no conversation about merit, about ensuring that there is merit that gets picked up and that gets selected and that gets to advance Bharat's story forward. Irrespective of who they are, Kamru Chaudhary, how is this all right? How is this par for course?
Yeah, Anand, I believe the nation is watching the entire debate tonight, and I don't think so the debate should take a turn of whether it should be a merit versus empowerment. If centuries of discrimination against particular communities has been the bane of Indian society, then what's wrong in empowering the downtrodden out here? I don't see any dismerit in the entire debate that Rahul Gandhi has initiated out here. If I can pass out from the top-notch engineering colleges of India, so as well Anandji can, and anybody in India can. Now, what makes the distinction between this? Before I come to the caste angle, let me just tell you, Vishwanathan Madam just now brought out here an issue of the inheritance tax. Let me just correct her that Congress party never promised any inheritance tax. In fact, it was Rajiv Gandhi who withdrew the inheritance tax. And you Anandji, you just brought out another issue where an entire community gets into the reservation issue. You are suggesting about the Muslim community, I believe, out here. When Congress party and the UPA were in power, the Justice Sachar committee recommendation came in, and he even suggested that the Muslim community's economic conditions and the social condition are worse than that of the SC and the ST communities. Just 1 year after the Justice Ranganathan committee recommendation came in, he suggested 15% reservation for the minorities, and he exclusively mentioned in his report asking for a 10% reservation for the Muslims. But if Congress would want to bring in the Muslim reservation as a wholesale basket, it could have introduced it when UPA was in absolute majority during the 2004 to 2014 period.
Sir, then again, then the Congress is the one that wants to change the fundamental tenets of our constitution again, because our founding fathers envisaged reservation on the basis of caste-based reservations. They said very clearly it can never be as far as communities are concerned. So that means once again the allegation of changing. The other aspect, sir, is who among Muslims? Economically backward. Is it mentioned anywhere?
No,
are you trying to say all Muslims are economically backward? Are you trying to say all Muslims are, or is there the Ashrafis and the Pashmandas very clearly?
Anand, they did it.
Can I reply?
What was done in Andhra Pradesh? Is there an economic qualification? And should there be no meritorious qualification? There should be no meritorious cutoff. So anybody on a base of a caste reservation can pass out at 40% and become a doctor, and somebody who's got 90% is not there. Niti Jain. So where is merit in all of this?
Can I just reply, Anandji? 10 seconds more, please.
Let Niti Jain come in, then I'll come back to you, sir. I have limited time, that's why. Yes, Niti Jain.
I feel in their desperation for their political survival, Rahul Gandhi has entirely lost the plot. He feels that just because without merit he is where he is, everybody else can also achieve similar heights, even if the merit is not even in the question. I think everything that the Congress party is today coming out with is kind of threatening to the country. So from wealth redistribution to X-ray to their X-ray of the wealth, and we'll yahan se lenge, wahan de denge, to now this. He is sitting with a group of what looks like farmers, and he's just creating this divisive narrative in the entire country, and that is something that needs to be looked at. I don't think the Congress party even knows what it is to be with the people or to understand where it is coming from. So I don't think merit is a huge consideration for the Congress party today.
Well, 25 acres of land belongs to a farmer. Will that wealth be redistributed? Will that's another question. But the simple aspect here is the Congress party and under its governments, various governments, 104 amendments to the constitution, including removing the images of Ram, Arjun, Hanuman, Buddha from the constitution, including changing the preamble of the constitution to, especially when democracy was in jail and the nation was in emergency, when forcefully words that were rejected by our founding fathers were inserted into the preamble, bringing in certain aspects which was void ab initio the spirit of our constitution. All of this has been done, and these are people who are coming out and threatening that somebody else will change the constitution. Have to wind up way over time, but we'll continue this conversation. This is something which needs deeper diving, a deeper understanding, and we request our panelists to join again, of course the viewer too. But for the moment, winding up this edition of The Right Stand here at the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Thank you for watching. Namaste.
Co-powered by taken and given to the caste among the Muslims. In Telangana and in Andhra Pradesh, this reservation started in the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. Mr. P.S. Krishnan, a renowned anthropologist who's nowhere in this world, who was very much instrumental in the Mandal Commission report, he had created a list of caste of Muslims which will get reservation and a list of castes which will not get reservation. Now, where is this case of getting it based on religion? In Maharashtra, the reservation was given. People challenged it. It went to Bombay High Court. The Bombay High Court upheld it. They said, yes, reservation can be given to Muslims. They are socially, educationally backward in education.
In some states, it's being given to all Muslims with no concept of creamy layer. Like, for the example, the Prime Minister has raised the issue of Karnataka. And he has also raised the issue of Andhra and Telangana.
See, the interesting part about Karnataka is, when Yedurappa was a CM twice, he allowed it. He continued with it. Just before assembly elections, you do that. You see, when you are in power, you allowed it. And before assembly elections, you remove it. So I hope the Congress government should have rectified it and taken steps, because the academic year is going to start now in next 2 months.
I am with Asaduddin Owaisi, the sitting MP in Hyderabad, on his quintessential door-to-door campaign that he is very famous for. Are these elections a little bit different because the BJP is giving you a very spirited fight?
See, we have defeated BJP from 84, 89, 91, 96, 99, 2004, 2009, 2014, 2019, and again in 2024 years. So it's BJP has been there, will be there, and they'll always lose also, inshallah.
No, but this was considered to be a seat where nobody really challenged you in the manner that the BJP putting up a candidate like Madhvi Lata is doing this time. Is it a little bit different?
No, not at all, not at all. You see, the problem is that the earlier candidate didn't happen to be from an upper caste. So the media was not very hoo-ha about it. But now everyone talks about it. Anyway, it's BJP is there. We have been defeating BJP.
But do you think it's because of her upper caste credentials, or because this is a woman who's very articulate, very ferocious? She's leading the campaign from the front.
Are you saying that Venkaiah Naidu was not articulate when he contested against our then party leader in 1996 and lost? Are you saying that Mr. Bhagwant was not an articulate candidate from BJP who contested in 2014 and in 19, or the then deputy mayor of BJP? So, party is there. You see, the issue is BJP is a party which we'll have to fight against, which we have been doing.
So what is that fight against the BJP? Are these elections particularly more polarized, as you've been contending that they're trying to do that? If so, in what way?
BJP's DNA is to polarize everything. So they have not changed their colors. but the Prime Minister has been exposed very badly in these elections. There were many people who were not BJP members who were still...
This is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio right here in our head offices in the National Capital Region. So the big story today, polling for Phase 3 has concluded, but the political showdown continues over Ram Mandir. Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav has stoked a massive controversy after he called the temple bekar, which means useless. Escalating the attack on the BJP further, the Samajwadi Party leader, and he's a multi-term member of parliament, he went on to say that the temple is not built right because the design is not built as per Vastu. And this is on the day that some of the Yadav belt seats, including the traditional Mulayam Singh Yadav stronghold seat of Maimpuri, voted. Dimple Yadav is the contestant there. Taking this a step further, former Congress leader, somebody who's now been expelled from the Congress party, Acharya Pramod Krishnam, has claimed, and this is an explosive claim, that Rahul Gandhi had planned to overturn